Welcome, everyone, to the Locker Room Rant. As always, I'm here with John V. and Nico.
What's up? What's up, fam?
John, can you show that bottle again, John?
This is Harry Potter beer.
That's the clear Heineken.
That is. Yep.
Nick, what do you got going on?
I got some White Claw tangerine. Now, I'm actually not a White Claw fan, but the tangerine's not bad.
You're going to be wasted by the end of the show.
It was actually supplied by our buddy. The shirts we're all wearing right here. The cruise through in Warren, Ohio on Elm Road. They have pretty much everything you'd ever want when it comes to like tobacco or alcohol or any type of drink.
Snacks, drinks, nicotine. They got everything you need when the world is ending.
Lottery. I play my lottery there just about now. I'm not getting any luckier, so I guess I'm gonna have to move on. But
anything you need, go on over to
whatever
the cruise
you want.
through. Nick, turn around, show the back.
Got a good look?
452 Elm Road, Warren, Ohio, 44483.
Yeah.
Go on through the cruise. Go on through that place. They got everything you need. All right, guys. NBA playoffs. A lot has happened since our last show. I think our last show, the Nets were up 2-0 against the Bucks.
Yeah.
And just this past Sunday was Game 7. Bucks came back and took Game 7 from the Nets. Did you guys watch the game? And I know that this is an anti-Kevin Durant show.
I'm not anti-Kevin Durant.
But did he kind of
all day, bro?
Then this is for you, John. Did he kind of did he prove anything to you? Did he change your mind in the slightest bit over Game 6 and Game 7, how he performed basically by himself? Did he change any perspective in John's mind?
Look, I can't stand him. I can hardly say good things about him, but he did put up 48 points, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he can score. He can score, but at the end of the day, this is my take on Kevin Durant and who he is in that Mount Rushmore of our generation, right? So I think that he is not established as the guy. I think he's still a role player, or the fact that maybe not a role player, maybe in the sense that the way that they constructed the Nets, they never really had the face of the team. Like, who is the face of the Brooklyn Nets? Is it Kevin Durant? Is it Kyrie? Is it both? Is it all three, Harden included? Like, how do you to me, the guy can score points. He's a scorer, but he's no LeBron who carries a team to a championship.
I think he
LeBron is the face of the NBA, correct?
No.
Can we agree that, I mean, not by you, Nick, because you ultimately, remember, we only include you because you're the third guy on the show. Your opinion is irrelevant when it comes to the fact. The fact is that the face of the NBA is LeBron James.
No,
that's I don't care if you don't like that. That's a fact. It is, though. It's his league.
Who's the face, Nick?
The face? Well, it's definitely not LeBron James, who is pretty much declined in his last couple of years.
No,
he just won a championship last year. Who's the face of the NBA?
And he had probably a top 5 player who was healthy at the time.
You're taking this out of context, Nick. You're taking this out of context. There's something
I don't think
that you're not understanding here.
NBA right now.
Dude, the league is
Giannis. You could probably say Giannis is the face of the NBA. Maybe. You could say possibly Embiid. But Embiid just lost, so how can you say that? Devin Booker's honestly making a strong case right now.
You're not understanding where I'm coming
LeBron,
from.
though. LeBron hasn't been the face actually for quite a while.
Then
LeBron
who
has-
is?
It is.
Kevin, if you
He
ask who the best player is, it's Kevin Durant.
This is the worst
Kevin
guy.
Durant is the best player in the NBA,
Tony,
and he proved it this
take-
series.
take the floor, please, and give me your opinion. Don't Nick is watering this down with his hatred. So he's biased.
if what
He
happened to
can't
Kevin
answer this
Durant-
question.
If what happened to Kevin Durant happened to LeBron, those games wouldn't have even been games.
My God, you've lost me. I want to go back to the fact that who is the face of the NBA, and not by his gameplay. LeBron's already put forth all that he needed. His stats speak for themselves. The numbers don't lie, right?
What do you
So
mean? Yeah, the
he
numbers
is on
don't lie.
leaderboards.
The numbers don't
He's
tell
on
the whole
leader-
story. The
He's-
numbers don't tell the
Nick,
whole story.
Nick, I'm not the guy that made this up. If you watch ESPN, if you wake up before 5:00 p.m. and you watch ESPN,
Mhm.
there are analysts that refer to the face of the NBA as LeBron James, or they'll refer him to
There are people
this is his
there are people that are on
his league, right?
There are people that are on his junk all the time. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so Nick, real quick,
Okay.
who is the face of the NBA in your mind?
What? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you mean by face of the NBA? Do you mean the most marketable player?
Everything, not
Just-
gameplay.
The best player?
Everything. The person, the person outside of the NBA, the person that has won championships. Who is the face of the NBA in your opinion?
If you're
When
asking
you think of
I don't
NBA,
think there is
who's
a face right now. I don't think there
well.
is a face right now.
there's been one for 17 years.
Yeah, because he goes towards the line.
He has the nickname
like a
the
little
king, the king of the NBA. I didn't make this up. These
He's
are
like a moth
references.
that flies towards the
You're-
limelight.
Most of
Okay.
us around here can
So
say
if
the
you're
same
asking
about
me who
you.
the best player is, the best player by far is Kevin Durant. Because
That's all
not-
we're asking.
I'm not asking
Hold on.
best player.
Man, we can argue this probably till next Tuesday.
That's because he's the Tony. You and I don't. He is biased. He can't give us the right information.
And you're not
He's gotta-
biased against Kevin Durant?
I gave him his credit.
No, you didn't. I give
just-
LeBron
I don't
credit.
think he's-
LeBron's a great player.
I don't think that Kevin Durant is the face of his team. I think there are too many.
Especially-
What are they? What's that? What is the reference? Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, or something.
No,
like
there were not enough Chiefs. The whole reason they lost was because their two best players got injured. James
So-
Harden wasn't even half of what he normally is.
I don't care. You got Kevin Durant now. You should be able to finish the job with Kevin Durant and Joe Harris and
And Joe Harris. Joe Harris is a 3-point specialist. He doesn't do anything else.
I mean, everybody plays their Nick. You play your role. If you
Yeah.
shoot the three ball,
You're going
that's your
up
role.
against
You
the
shoot the
Milwaukee
three
Bucks
ball.
team. You're going up against a Milwaukee Bucks team with Giannis, Middleton, and freaking Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you didn't. You
And
didn't.
you expect Bruce
They won't
Brown
even make
to
it this
do
far.
as much as those guys do?
I know that Giannis is the face of his team, right? Who is the face of the fucking Brooklyn Nets? That's what I'm asking you. And then I want you to go on to.
I don't think there is a face of the NBA.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. But the league itself relies on popularity and the league. I mean, LeBron has been the proverbial king of the league, right?
So listen, Nick, to end this and move on, I hate LeBron James,
Mhm.
but I will agree with John that he is the face of the NBA. He will
Right.
probably continue to be the face of the NBA until he's no longer in the NBA. He is the face of the NBA. He's what everyone thinks
he
of.
is their earner. I mean, he's the cash cow.
Does
You don't have to like it, and I'm not going to sit here and argue with you over it because I'm not making that up. I'm not defending it like this is my opinion. This is the reference. I mean, they got him on a throne, bro, at the bottom of every ticker when you're watching shows. Like,
Yeah.
yes, he currently is. Now, where I'm going with the answer of Tony, where I was going originally was, I don't know if Durant, Tony, after that, right? Because now, who was his supporting role back in San Francisco, right? You had Steph Curry. He had what's his face?
Klay Thompson, Draymond
Klay
Green.
Thompson, Green. So he had a bunch of talent surrounding him. Now, that was the guy that was the addition to their team that put them over the top. It was Kevin Durant, the greatest player on the planet. Didn't do that, bro. It didn't translate against Giannis and the Bucks. Who, to some people, are an average, are just an above average, like an average team in the playoffs. They don't consider them like dominate, like a dominance in the playoffs. They just put a stop to a. I know you're going to say Harden wasn't 100, and I know he wasn't.
He wasn't even close to 100. If Harden was close to 100, Harden was 80%. They would have won.
You know what? It is what it is. Bucks ended up winning in 7. They move on to play. I don't even want to say these 2 words, but the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know how the hell that happened. My 76ers got bounced to the freaking Atlanta Hawks. And I can really point the finger solely at Ben Simmons. The guy is terrible. He's a terrible shooter. I've never seen anything like it. He shot like 30% from the free throw line. I watched him yesterday in that game 7. Drove to the hoop, had a wide open dunk, and was even scared to take the dunk and passed it to a guy that was guarded that ended up getting fouled. I've never seen anything like it. So
Coward.
Everyone in Philly is just like, get this guy out of here. Get him out. And I agree. He no longer fits there. He needs a shot. I've never seen anyone not shoot. It's not that he's missing shots. He's not shooting. It's unbelievable.
Like,
he's not even trying.
What I want to know is how. Okay, so coming into the league, he wasn't a good shooter. We all knew that, correct?
Yeah. Hey, that's. Hey, Roy boy, what's happening, brother? I'm glad you found us, man. Thanks for joining us.
So, like, how can you not get better at that shot? Like, that's your only job as being a basketball player. Like, he's got all the physical tools. He doesn't need to work on that. He's got all the other intangibles that you need. How does he just not every single day shoot like 1,000 shots and just get a little better?
I think it might be mental, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with that guy. I think if you took the basket away altogether, you just took away hoops from the NBA, and he'd probably be the greatest player to ever play the game. He rebounds like a madman. He gets great assists. He just can't shoot the ball. He can't shoot.
You know, another thing is this little experiment that they've been doing for friggin' however long of him
the
at
process.
Point guard.
Yeah.
What's that?
the process.
Yeah. They need to stop him being at point guard. Like, why is he a point guard?
What's he gonna be, a shooting guard?
No, a forward.
I know.
You don't think he can play power forward?
I mean, there's more to it than this. I don't know what it is, but that game could have been won if Ben Simmons was average at best.
I think he had 17 points over games 5, 6, and 7. 17 points, 5, 6, and 7.
it's the percentages. Like I saw him shooting free throws, and honestly, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like he might as well have his eyes closed and shooting them.
But are you gonna sit here and just criticize him on his foul shots, Nick?
Yeah,
I mean, free throws,
yes.
Nick.
30%.
There is a lack of basketball IQ in this kid. Like either he's a coward and he won't take the shot, or he won't make the easy layup. But he was under the basket. If he pivots to the right. Yeah, if he pivots to the right, he can easily just set it in, like effortlessly, and he dishes it 3 or 4 feet in front of him, also under the basket, leading to a foul. No points. Like just that's just a tiny part of his game. I've watched him, and he's a coward. He does not either. He's a coward, and he won't take the necessary shot, or he won't drive like he should. I mean, the dude is.
Well, he
big enough.
Shoot. That's the thing. He can't shoot.
Nick, I mean, he wasn't always that trash.
Maybe not that
Ben
trash.
Simmons. Ben Simmons had a name. Like he established himself in the league. Remember that?
Yeah, but not as a shooter.
Not that shooter. That was awful. Like that looks like a guy that doesn't want to play basketball anymore professionally.
If Ben Simmons
and he won't be in Philly.
If Ben Simmons shot 65% instead of 30-some%, they probably win those last 2 games.
They were talking about him going to the Trailblazers and being like a 4.
Okay,
like
that's
power
great.
forward.
That's great.
I mean, listen, you can figure out where you're
even power forwards can shoot though.
But it's a little more like palatable. If a power forward sucks at shooting.
Okay, but what's changed? He wasn't always this trash. We weren't laughing at him 2 years ago.
He never really was. He was always getting his points off dunks and layups.
Right.
Little,
but I mean, those are the
little
things
hook shots.
That's what your team. That's what the Sixers needed, Tony. Even if he gave that much, some layups, some inside opportunities. He had them. We know it.
The Hawks, though, were smart, man. They got in that kid's head. They started fouling him. And every time he went up for a shot, he was scared that he was going to get fouled and have to go shoot free throws. That's how bad his free throws were. The Hawks played it perfect.
Like he's lost his confidence as a professional.
Like no joke. I was watching him shoot free throws, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was worse than Ben Wallace. It was worse than Shaq. It was worse than just about anyone I've ever seen shoot free throws.
It was bad, but I think he's going to be moved on from Philly. I hope. I don't think Philly fans will welcome him back. Even Doc Rivers was like, hey, "Do you see this kid being a point guard in this league?" He was like, "I don't know. I don't even know. That's his coach." But nonetheless, the Hawks moved on. Credit to them. Boy, that Trae Young's he's a little asshole out there, boy. He kind of reminds me, not so much the way he plays, but his attitude reminds me of a young Isaiah Thomas when he was with the Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas was a dickhead, like the dickhead. And I see Trae Young with a little Isaiah Thomas swag about him. Every building he walks into, unless it's in Atlanta, they hate his guts. And I kind of like that about him. I just wish he had better hair. This coming from someone bald, and I wouldn't even take his.
We are not the panel.
Nick,
to criticize hair at this point.
Nick, remember how we always used to talk about, like, man, if we just had hair, any hair, not Trae Young's hair, I would not take his hair over my bald hair.
I don't even want to go into this segment at all.
Yeah, the thing with Trae Young is he's got that intangible that you kind of need to be great, and that's I'm the man. I'm going to take the shots. I'll deal with the repercussions. That's what Steph has. That's what Isaiah Thomas had. That's
Steph
what
has.
Lillard has.
Steph has Steph has more than that swag, bro. He has a God-given talent. The dude's on another level.
But Trae Young has that. Trae Young has that. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good player in this league for a long time.
I heard something today that I want to make a comment on that really stuck with me, and it makes sense because it's true. I heard that if you look at the playoffs, it was the young talent, the young stars that were stepping up and led their teams, and they said that the league was in good hands moving forward. And I thought to myself, like, that couldn't be any more true. Like, the NBA is in good hands with a lot of young, talented players. And for whatever reason, it stuck to me. And I really thought about it. And I thought to myself, you know what? There's entertainment. There is talent. The league is in great hands with the young talent moving forward.
So that's one of the reasons when we were talking about who's the face of the league. I don't think there is a face of the league for that.
Well, this was part of this was a segment of a show that I was listening to. It was actually Colin Cowherd's today. It was his show today. And they were just making reference. It was or is or can Durant be that of whom LeBron James is? Will he ever reach that status? And will the league reflect? When you hear NBA, do you think Kevin Durant? I mean, it was a good segment.
Kevin Durant, as far as basketball skills right now, I think absolutely better than LeBron James.
He's awesome.
He's probably the best player in the NBA. He just doesn't have the.
But is he better? Is he better than LeBron in the paint?
He's better than he's.
I feel like he's a far better shooter outside, all over the place. Yeah. But LeBron dominates. LeBron dominates the lane, bro. I feel like he's a more impactful player under the hoop.
He probably has 40 pounds on Kevin Durant.
Okay,
that dude's a skeleton.
I happen to like. Listen, I don't cherish the guy, but I do like parts of LeBron's game, and in fact, I very much do like that bully ball that he plays under the hoop. I like.
So. Do I need to even ask who you guys like in that series? Bucks, Hawks. And let's do a prediction on how many games will be played and who do you think will win? Start with you, John.
If we're going by now, I got to be honest with you, Tony. I have not watched a lot of the Atlanta. I mean, I saw a few. Okay. Do I think that they can win 2 games on Milwaukee after the way Milwaukee played the Nets defensively? I don't know that Atlanta can beat Milwaukee once in the series. I'm going to say Milwaukee sweeps them.
Nick.
I don't like agreeing with John, but I think the broomsticks are going to come out.
Hey, cheers.
I think Milwaukee's going to sweep the Hawks. Like I said, I give props to Trae Young. The Hawks have done better than I thought they would. I'm not as basically like taken away by their beating of the Sixers because I've said over and over again that I don't think the Sixers have what it takes. But when you put Drew Holiday on Trae Young, he has capabilities of shutting him down. When you have, just the rest of their team is so much more dominant than what the Hawks have. So I don't think they're going to win 1 game.
Fair enough.
So Bucks and 4 for John. Bucks and 4 for Nick. Are we watching this? Lottery stuff. Has it started yet?
I have it on right now. They haven't. I don't think anyone's got anything yet. I don't think they've started it.
My friend Roy Boy over here says that air is overrated.
The Warriors got the 14th pick. The Pacers have the 13th pick.
Okay. Keep us updated on that. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bucks. I'm gonna say the Bucks in 5. I'm gonna give Trey at least one game. That team's got a lot of heart, man. They fight till the very damn end of the game. I'm gonna give him one game, and we'll go from there. Over in the Western Conference, John, your Phoenix Suns. They are looking good, even without COVID. Chris Paul, going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. Suns took game 1. No Chris Paul. Clippers had no Kawhi. Is this a boring series to you guys without those 2 stars playing? Go ahead, Nick.
I mean, like, I don't know why the Clippers just are like blah to me. I don't think they have what it takes to get to the finals. If you were to ask me who I was going to pick, I'd pick the Suns. If you asked me who I was going to pick before game 1, I'd pick the Suns.
So you're trying to say that the Clippers aren't going to win one on Phoenix?
No, do I think they're going to win one? I don't think they're going. I don't think the Suns are going to sweep them, but I think the Suns will probably pull it out.
Is Kawhi officially? Does he in fact have a partially torn ACL? Do we know?
I have no idea. All I know is it's man, the 2 Western Conference champions, the 2 at the end in the championship game are missing their best players. And I think that sucks, man. I think, and especially Chris Paul, my goodness, this guy, he gets to the Western Conference championship and he gets COVID. Come on, man. So I feel for him. I feel bad for Kawhi. It's basically Booker versus Paul George, and may the best man win. So far, game 1.
There's a good supporting cast on both ends, though.
I don't think Paul George can carry your team.
I think he can.
He has
I think
been.
He absolutely can. He's doing a good job of it so far.
He has been, Nick. When did Kawhi get hurt? I think he got hurt game 5. So he carried him game 6, game 7.
I mean, carried him through the most crucial.
Jazz.
I mean, yeah, he did a great job. Good job. And I believe that he can do it now. Just depends on.
Are you gonna get blow up games from Terrence Mann all the time? I mean,
Terrence Mann may just stepped up. It's a next man up mentality, right? I mean, that's the mentality you're supposed to have when you come into the.
Should have that mentality, but is it always a reality?
They say you can do anything you can put your mind to. So go out there and tear it up. He's not doing a bad job. Let's see tonight. It's going to be a good game. I'm pumped.
Who you going with, John? Suns and how many?
I think it'll be a 4-2 sweep.
4-2. All right, 4-2. So Suns and 6. Nick.
Just so I don't agree with John, I'm going to say 7, Suns and 7.
You can agree with me if you truly believe it. I mean, I think that the Clippers can walk away with a couple, but maybe not. I don't know. Look at the Phoenix Suns are hot. They're a hot team. They could sweep them.
I go
All right, 4-3 Suns. I'm going to go 4-3 Clippers, just because they were my pick to win it all, and I don't want to go back on my word. So I'm assuming you guys saw the Suns in 4 YouTube clip, right?
Yeah.
Did the guy that got beat up, did he kind of remind you of Marco? Like a young Marco?
I didn't think about it, but I guess so. Now it does. Now it does. I mean, I can tell you one thing. If that dude, there's no way that would have been me at the end of that.
I actually thought about you, John. I was thinking, like, what one of my friends could I see being on a YouTube clip like this one day? And it was a unanimous decision. It was John.
Yeah, I probably would have been the one with the uppercuts. I'm telling you,
John was
that
nose-
dude he stopped, swung on his buddy, then he like let up on the dude's jersey a little bit, and then he just like the dude in the jersey was just like he kind of let his guard down, and the dude just was like, what? And then he just bop. Suns in 4. Oh, I loved it.
John just was face to face. John was nose to nose with somebody a couple days ago.
We're not going into that here.
I haven't been nose to nose with somebody in about 15 years.
John can't go 2 weeks.
The universe hates me, bro.
All right, guys.
Anyway, so
I'm gonna say Clippers in 7. We're gonna switch. Oh boy, I'm scared to go to this next segment, but we're gonna try to get through this, guys. We're gonna get through this together.
All right.
The 2020 Euro Cup.
2021.
They're still calling it the 2020 because it was canceled.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see. Yeah, you're right.
So a couple weeks ago, we picked teams that we were going to follow. John, you had Ronaldo with Portugal. Nick, you had Lukaku with Belgium, and I had Mr. Mbappe from France. And I got to tell you, I think my team is the worst out of all those. Portugal. How the hell? So there's different groups. Each group has four teams. John, how the hell did France, Germany, Portugal, and Hungary, how did those 4 end up in the same damn group? I will have no idea.
That's like in Group F, if I'm not mistaken, and it was butt cheeks. Now, I will tell you this though. I really don't know how they found their way down there. I really don't. However, it was still one of the most highly anticipated groups to watch. Obviously, you had your juggernauts in that group. So I don't know, bro. You know, Portugal and France. Portugal won this in 2016. So this rematch between Portugal and France coming up, it's going to be pretty awesome because I think Portugal was sleeping on Germany. I think for whatever reason they took the new coach. They took that loss. I think they really underestimated Germany, and they ate four goals, and they ate 4 goals quick.
I went to a place called Fado's. It's in Easton down here in Columbus, and it's a soccer bar. So everyone that goes there like watches soccer, gets real intense into it. So I go there not knowing too much about soccer, and I'm sitting at the bar. There's these guys sitting down from me, a couple seats down, and I'm trying to like be cool and make friends. And the guy was like, yeah, who you cheering for? I was like, I'm going for France. He goes, okay. I said, how about you? He said, Germany. I said, Germany.
Okay.
Breaking news, Cavs got
Breaking
third
news,
pick.
thanks to Allison. The Cavs are getting the 3rd pick. Nick's sleeping over there.
That's pretty good for them, actually. Who got the
did?
first?
Detroit, number 1, Houston,
Detroit.
number 2, Cleveland, number 3.
Detroit, Houston, and Cleveland.
So long, Cade Cunningham. Nice knowing you, buddy. Detroit. See ya, bud. I don't even know who the 3rd prospect would be, but getting back to my story, there's this guy. His last name is spelled Kroos, and I've seen him play for Germany a few times. And I was like, "Oh yeah, Germany. You like Germany?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "They got a guy I like on that team, Cruz." And he's looking at me. And then the bartender's looking at me and giving me like the stank eye. I'm like, yeah, Cruz. You know, Kroos. They're like, oh, Kroos. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. You know what? How would you say that? Kroos? Would you say Kroos? To make a long story short, I stayed there and I had the time of my life. I mean, it was so fun watching soccer over there. And if you guys are ever in town, we got to go over there and catch a game. It's actually really fun. maybe the best chicken wings I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching the Euro Cup games? Have you been watching a lot of it?
I
Yeah,
haven't
for the most part.
I haven't been able to watch too many, but I've tried to keep tracks on my adopted team, the Belgium national team.
Belgium's sick. I mean, they are sick. They got Lukaku, of course.
Lukaku.
Both Hazard brothers.
Yeah. The one
Van-
Hazard that was hurt.
De Bjorn, who is maybe the best player in the world right now. But I watched this team, the Netherlands, and they were amazing. They're 3-0. They haven't lost. They're obviously moving forward into the next round. But this team is unbelievable. They have a forward. His name's Memphis Depay. Absolutely sick. Watch out for the Netherlands to win this whole thing. They were getting goals from everywhere, man. And when they weren't scoring, they were still attempting a million shots. Really fun to watch. So if you guys get a chance to watch a Netherlands match, I highly recommend that.
The Netherlands, huh? Never thought.
Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands are always good, though.
But they're really good. They are really good.
Evidently,
Yeah,
they
check
got a
them out.
star.
One of the best goals I ever saw was I think it was the last World Cup. Maybe it was 2 World Cups ago. The Ian Robin header. Do you remember that?
No,
No.
It was,
might have made that
you
one.
want to look up Ian Robin header. It's awesome goal.
You might want to fact check that, Tony. Nick may have made that up.
Yeah. Nick, you were probably playing FIFA on Xbox and that happened.
No, it's
Do you guys think we're ready to move on from Euro Cup? I think we did. I think we finagled through that pretty well, actually.
Yeah, if you honestly, I mean, who do you think wins out of who do you have winning out of France, Portugal?
Obviously, I'm going to take France. I think it's going to be an awesome match. That's pretty much closing out round number the play-in round. I got to tell you, I think they'll both end up getting to the next round, even if Germany moves on as well. I think all 3 from that group will move on. There's only 2 guarantees from each group, and then one. I don't know how that works, but they have additional teams that will move on. I think all 3 of those will move on. I'm just. You guys don't understand. You got to watch Netherlands, man. If I were to put money on a team right now, after watching them, I don't think they're beatable right now. So keep your eyes on them. I'm really high on Netherlands.
All right, we'll check it out.
The last thing about Nick, are you going to watch? He said.
yeah.
Okay, cool. The last thing about the Euro Cup I'm going to get to is Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player that passed out on the field. I was watching this live. I was watching it with my wife, Christina, and he went down. And my first initial thought was, okay, he's taking this really far. He's taking this soccer foul really, really far here. And then I watched it back, and he wasn't. No one was even around him. And I'm like, this looks bad. His entire team circled around him, kind of made a wall so no one could see what was going on. And I still was like, wow, what happened? Did he break his leg? Is there a bone sticking out or something like that? And then after a few minutes, the camera kind of panned across him, and I saw someone giving him CPR. And then I was just like, holy shit, this is real. I could have just watched someone die just now. And he did die, but they brought him back. Nick, do you want to give your expert advice on this?
Yeah, so I mean, this is tremendously scary. It's kind of crazy how even like a finely tuned athlete, like these are the best athletes in the world, and how just something instantly can trigger that, and then all of a sudden they're just out. We've seen this a couple times in my lifetime with players that were athletes and they all of a sudden just collapse and have heart attacks and have cardiac arrests. Usually it's from like some type of congenital thing at birth with their heart, but I haven't heard exactly what they pinpointed as the cause of this. Chances are, like when we have like cardiac arrest, I work in an ER, by the way, so when we have a cardiac arrest that comes in, usually, do you want me to explain this or no?
Go ahead.
So we usually try and figure out what the cause of the cardiac arrest was. H's and T's, low fluid volume, hypovolemia, low potassium or high potassium, which would be hyperkalemia or hypokalemia, stuff like that. And chances are he probably had like a low fluid volume or he had an electrolyte imbalance that kind of triggered that. But to get a bigger perspective, when people come in with cardiac arrests, the great majority of the time they don't come back. We can't get them back. A lot of people have this conception in their heads that hospitals can get people back the majority of the time. It doesn't work like that. When your heart stops, chances are you're not coming back. Now they issued immediate medical attention.
Not to mention, if your heart stops and you go into cardiac arrest and you're taken to NIC, your percentages go down even more.
I've brought many people back in my day.
You haven't brought shit back. You haven't brought shit back. What are you talking about? I want names. I don't care about HIPAA. I want names. You didn't bring back shit.
Yeah, bro, you are.
But
Are we done with the Are we done with the medical segment from Acletus?
Yeah. All right, Doogie Howser over there.
It's a scary thing because people don't come back from it a lot of times. But if you initiate immediate medical attention, the quicker you do, and it seems like they did everything perfectly. So,
not to mention, not a lot of times. There's probably not a lot of times where people go into cardiac arrest and they immediately have experts literally next to you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, thank God that turned out all right because that was really scary. And I know the world of soccer was very, very. We're not huge soccer fans. There was people from like different countries that have nothing to do with Denmark that were crying over this dude. So
my boy Lukaku dedicated one of his goals to him.
He sure did. So thoughts and prayers with Christian Eriksen. Tom Brady came out today. And I guess while he was going through free agency last year, there was a team that was highly interested. And they were about to strike a deal. And at the last second, they said, you know what? We're no longer interested in Tom Brady. We're going to stick with what we got. Tom Brady's reaction to that was, you're going to stick with that mother beep?
Do we know what team?
No, that's what he's keeping a secret. But there's a lot of speculation as what team was he talking about when he said that. A lot of people seem to think he might even have been talking about a little team out there in San Francisco.
Nah, bro, they're good. They're. I mean, no, man, they got the same agent, and no. Look, Jimmy just went to a Super Bowl, so you're not going to be like, hey, this guy. They're going to stick with this guy. Like, no. I'm going to go on a limb and say that it was Mitchell Trubisky.
I
feel that same way.
It really depends on who it was, and if it was Mitchell Trubisky, then the Chicago Bears are idiots. But if it was like somebody like in Houston, like with like Deshaun Watson or
it was more. If we're gonna be, it would have been. It could have been the Raiders, the Bears, the Niners, which I'm really not gonna. The Niners thing just doesn't make any sense because
I don't think it's the Niners.
Because Garoppolo and Brady have a friendship outside of this bullshit. But you would be saying that about a guy who,
Like, about a guy who hasn't proven anything.
yeah, more so or less. And I mean, look, if it was Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, shit, that was crazy. I mean, that was,
Well, I take that
I don't. I'd like to see this. I want to see the episode. When does it air? Is that coming up this week? Because I want to see if they make any other reference to give us any clues. Otherwise, Brady's just having a good time.
I take that back. Brady could say it about anyone because he believes he's better than anyone, and for certain reasons, obviously.
Yeah.
But in terms of actuality, in terms of practicality, there's probably like about 5-6 quarterbacks that I'd rather have right now than Brady. Especially when you include long term in the mix. Yeah, there's about 5-6 quarterbacks I'd rather have than Tom Brady.
So just for 1 year, you would take 5 or 6 quarterbacks above him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know that I think it was like out of the last 20 years. Okay, we'll start with 2000. We'll say Tom Brady's first Super Bowl. It was year 2001.
Yep.
Okay, they won against the St. Louis Rams. Do you know that there's been a pattern that I think helps you a little bit, John? Every Super Bowl since then has either had Peyton Manning, who's no longer there, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, the San Francisco 49ers, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 20 out of the last 20 have had some type of what I just said. Either Peyton Manning was playing in the game, Tom Brady was playing in the game, Ben Roethlisberger was playing in the game, the San Francisco 49ers played in the game, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played in the game. 20 of the last 20. So you take Tom Brady and the Buccaneers and you kind of combine those because he's on their team now. You take Peyton Manning out of it because he's been retired. So you basically have the 49ers, the Steelers, and the Buccaneers. One of those three teams, if the pattern continues, one of those three teams will be back in the Super Bowl this year. John, that's bodes well for you.
Bro, I know we're going back to the Super Bowl. I have to believe that. I mean, that's my team, and I mean, obviously, that's what I want.
You don't have to believe that.
Nick, I believe in my soul that we're going back to the Super Bowl. I mean, I've listen. I believe that we're going to go to the Super Bowl when we didn't go to the Super Bowl. I believe that we're going to go to the Super Bowl when we went to the Super Bowl.
Like, I'm a Browns fan. I don't believe that we're going to the Super Bowl every year.
You have a record of complete and utter fucking ass. Okay, so no, you didn't have glimpses of hope to build off of. It was shit.
We were better than the 49ers last year.
Just about everybody was better than the 49ers last year because we had $100 million of our best players on IR. So, yeah, you could say so. It's like taking all the best players, the first string, and just saying you're hurt. You're going to go into this column over here. And then your team just goes out there with the guy named Nick fucking Mullins, who was trash. Trash.
You know what? Speaking of Nick Mullins, you know John had the audacity to tell me one day, this is probably like 2 years back. He's probably like, you guys would probably trade us a second, third round pick for Nick Mullins.
Hey, there was talk for Nick Mullins. Listen, at that time, you guys would have taken a box of Cracker Jacks and
we don't want Nick Mullins.
Starburst for just about anybody if they could throw the ball.
Yeah, out of your goddamn mind.
He was getting hyped up at the time, and we were like, yes, he was. Yes, he was. We won. We were winning with him for a stretch there, just a few. And the media got all in their feelings. They're like, oh, Nick Mullins, this guy could be a potential starter next year, this, that, and the other. And then last year happened. It was cheese, bro. Just garbage. So, at that time, though, bro, I could have convinced the Browns to take anybody if they threw the ball. Even you.
But there you
They
go.
would have thought about it.
Intelligence giving us trying to think that my team would take your garbage.
John, you guys have some people out already for the year, right?
Yep.
I saw a few names that you guys already have out. Are they big time players for you guys? It wasn't anyone that I really.
Certainly, I mean they all played a role in our defense one way or another, and an offensive lineman. So yeah, I mean they were all non-contact injuries. Jeffrey Wilson got up and tore something in his knee or something, bro. I don't know. He was sitting in a chair in the locker room. He got up, and the next thing you know, he had a tear in his meniscus. I don't even know. Don't even ask. The other guy, Tarvarius Moore, I believe, he was playing corner, practicing, and just
Huge
the air.
Huge cog in the team.
I mean,
Huge
these guys.
what, Nick?
I said he's a huge cog in the team. Huge cog in the wheel there. San Francisco.
I mean, listen, Tarvarius Moore was predicted to have a very good season this year. Like this was supposed to be his year.
John,
the Browns fan, because jokes are on the other team.
the fifth,
the Browns fan.
John's like, oh, he played a crucial role.
I mean, injuries are injuries, especially before the season even starts, man. That sucks.
You can get those guys. You can get those guys off
The question is this, okay, Tony, ultimately, because our injuries over the last 3 years have been atrocious, catastrophic, just awful. I mean, awful. Okay, awful. One has to wonder if and how and why is this happening to us constantly? What are we not doing right? Are the players just bitches and are they just soft? Or are the training staff not building those tendons around the knees and just focusing on strength training in the most crucial areas of the athlete's body? You got to wonder why. A lot of people wonder why. Niner fans are wondering why constant. So
I'll tell you what, man. I didn't know until like a week ago when I saw Jets press conference. I didn't know you guys lost your defensive coordinator to the Jets.
Yeah.
That guy that guy was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I mean, that's a huge blow to your defense, and I didn't even know about it.
Yes.
Not according to
It
John,
is.
they lost.
I'm not.
Oh my
I'm
God,
not,
dude.
I'm listen. We've got D'Amico Ryans, who was under Robert Saleh for. I mean, this dude. We're in good hands. I think we're going to see more blitzing from D'Amico Ryans from the Niners defense. I think we're going to see things a little bit differently. We're not going to stick around in that cover three and just. I'm expecting bigger, better things. More aggressive. 2019 vibes. Yes.
That Robert Saleh reminds me of like a cousin of the Ambliotis brothers, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. He does. Actually, it's kind of funny that you say that. I didn't think of it, obviously, but it is. It's a good. That's a good one.
He's pretty sweet. That's a bad loss. That guy, he was huge, and the way the players interacted with him, and you could tell like he had a really good relationship with the players. So that's going to be a big loss for you guys, man.
Well, we're hoping we're hoping that the next man up is the guy for the job. I mean, I'm kind of confident, bro. I think it's going to be okay. The Niners are going to look good. They're going to look good. We're going to be a problem this year. I promise. So,
we don't do much baseball on this show, but I couldn't resist this. We had to talk about Jacob deGrom. I don't know if you guys are following this at all, but the guy is he's unworldly right now. Um, we need to talk about Jacob deGrom. He's has 12 starts on the year, and he has a .5 ERA. In his 5 starts, I'm sorry, his 12 starts, he's given up 7 earned runs over the course of the entire year so far. And we wouldn't be doing our show justice if we didn't talk about this guy. He's unbelievable. He's having maybe the best year. He's having like the best year ever. Nick, you want to start us off?
There have been other pitchers in history that have started off similar. That being said, if you were to continue this course over the whole course of the season, it'd probably be the greatest pitching season of all time.
I mean, I'm not following it too much, so I'm not really that familiar with what's going on.
I mean, crazy stuff like this happens in baseball a lot. Like pitchers start off crazy hot. I'm guessing, especially after All-Star break, he'll probably have like a little bit of a decline. But I mean, he still could have an amazing season. I always go back to Bob Gibson's. I think it was his 1968 or 69 season where he had like a 1.9 ERA. I think Pedro Martinez had a similar one at some point.
I think Roger Clemens with the Astros had something really low like that too. But this is unheard of. It's a .5 ERA, 12 starts in. And he gets like
the real deal, dude. I mean, this could be the next Nolan Ryan.
I think actually like it's Hideki Nomo when he broke out.
Hideo Nomo.
Hideo Nomo. I think he had a similar type start. I don't think it was as good, but he had a similar type start, and it went away after All-Star break.
Do you know that me and Billy Vrontos went to a New York Yankees game? Just me and Bill. We went to New York with Kirk to visit family, and then me and Billy were like, "Hey, let's go to a Yankees game." They were playing the Boston Red Sox. I think it was Hideo Nomo versus Mike Mussina were the pitchers. I didn't wear any of my Boston Red Sox stuff because I was like 14. I would have got murdered. So we're there, and first of all, what the hell were we doing there by ourselves? I think we were 15. Like, what the hell were we doing there by ourselves? Just me and Bill. Anyways.
No, you guys were because you guys were driving back then, weren't you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Isn't that the trip that Bill got? You guys got Bill pulled over.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right.
Because like 17.
Anyways, we're at the game, and I'll never forget this. I didn't wear any of my Boston Red Sox stuff, and there was a guy that had a Yankees hat on, and his little son, it must have been, I shit you not, guys, he must have been 5 or 6 years old. His dad was holding him by the hand, and the little kid had a Red Sox hat on. So the dad had a Yankees, the little kid had a Red Sox. The dad was walking him to their seats, and these Yankees fans started throwing peanuts at the little kid. And then someone literally poured an entire beer on this kid's head. And the dad couldn't do shit. Like he would have got just mobbed by all these people. And I'm thinking, if they would do this to a 6-year-old kid, could you imagine what they would do to my ass right now? Thank God I didn't wear any of my stuff. That place was dangerous, bro. Let's get to some final thoughts. John, what do you got for us?
Just glad that the Cavs got the 3rd pick. I hope that Milwaukee pulls this out, and I think I'm looking forward to this Suns game tonight. Those are my final thoughts.
Has that started yet?
It should have.
Yeah, it started. It's
Yeah.
8-11 Suns right now.
Okay. Gotta go watch it.
All right, go ahead, Nick. Final thoughts.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on my Belgium national team. I got to be honest. When the Euro Cup first started, when the Euro Cup was about to start, I wasn't too excited about it, but I'm liking the way this is going. I'll definitely check out the Netherlands game. See what you're talking about, Tony.
Oh, look for a guy named Memphis Depay, Depay. Memphis Depay. He's a forward.
Nick is sleeping during all of this.
They have recordings where you can watch, John.
Oh yeah, you're gonna record it? Okay, I can't wait.
You got to
I'll
watch
come over and watch.
that guy. He's freaking awesome. I have no final thoughts, man. Pissed off that my Sixers lost. Ben Simmons, get the hell out of Philly. Tom Brady. I want to say he was talking about the Las Vegas Raiders just because I would probably say that in his position. Like you're choosing David Carr over me. Get the hell out of here.
Because
is it David Carr or Derek Carr?
Effer, dude. He said M-effer. Those are not words that you use.
Carr. David Carr was his brother that got drafted first overall.
It's Derek Carr. The point is this. You don't say M-effer about somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo or Drew Brees or like he wasn't talking about Drew Brees in New Orleans. So, you know, it had to be Trubisky. I'm going with Trubisky. That's honest to God. That's who I believe.
I know. I think that too. But then they also had what's his nuts from Philly that came in. Who's the guy that came in and won the Super Bowl? Foles. They had Nick Foles there, so they were kind of battling. So that's why I'm thinking maybe it wasn't
at that
Chicago.
At that time, didn't Foles have the starting role? Wasn't he starting? Wasn't he QB1?
I'm not. I think no. They started the year with Trubisky.
They did, and they benched Trubisky, and they gave QB1 to Nick Foles.
And then he got hurt, and then they put Trubisky back, but they started playing better under Trubisky.
I don't know. I just got a feeling that it sounds like something you would say about Derek Carr.
Yeah,
something I would say. But nonetheless, good show.
We got to watch that episode. We have to watch that episode because they're going to probably get into it a little deeper, and I'm kind of curious to see what he says. You know, it'll be shocking. I think everybody's excited.
Absolutely. Let's end the show on a high note. We'll do a little cheers again. Cruise on through to the cruise through. Grab your drinks, your White Claws, your tobacco, your CBD. Lottery. What is it? What'd you say?
CBD.
They got that too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man. Go there and get your fix.
They got everything.
You got to do.
Snacks. They got it all. All right, guys. Until next time, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the Locker Room Rant.
Later, guys.
See you later.